Morning, everyone. How you doing? Holding up? I have to work today, so I'm doing my fruit and vegetable drink as well as oatmeal with blueberries and honey today. So this drink here is banana, strawberry, blueberry, spinach, carnation, milk, and honey. So that's what this one is. And then my oatmeal is my flaxseed oatmeal that also has honey and fresh blueberries. So that's what I'm eating before I go to work. So trying to get the food on today. Okay. So we have two shootings that happened over the weekend, and wow, horrific, horrific shootings. The first one that I heard of, well, the first one we're going to discuss is the one in Michigan, where Thomas Sanford, 40 years old, veteran, um, went and drove his truck into the Mormon church, started shooting, set it on fire, and then was killed um, by officers. Something I found today, there's a channel called Dave Bondy, Dave and Bondy, Bondy. I will put it in the description below. Interviewed Kris Johns from Burton. Um, he is a candidate that was canvassing last week, and he said he spoke to this man, Thomas Sanford, the week before this happened. And I'm not going to paraphrase a whole lot. I'd prefer you to go listen to this interview. Um, but he did say that this man did say that the Mormon church was the Antichrist. So that kind of gives you a little bit of the mentality of what else was going on in that interview. So go see Dave Bondy, where he interviews Kris Johns, who spoke to that shooter a week before. North Carolina, another horrible shooting. This was from a boat at a waterfront bar. This man is in custody. He is not. Was not neutralized. Um, but his name was Nigel Edge. He's also 40 years old. Both were 40 years old this this weekend. Um, he had some. He also being a veteran, he also suffered from PTSD, but he had also filed lawsuits against a local church and a hospital with conspiracy kind of things. He also sued Kelly Pickler, said that she tried to poison him. After years, they had went, well, back in 2012, they had went to a country awards. He was on the red carpet with her as her date, and then years later, he sued her for trying to poison him. So lots of weird conspiracy things going on there. We know that he was against the LGBTQ community, and I'm assuming that he probably had some sort of revenge against this waterfront um, bar, because it looks like he goes after places that he thinks have conspiracies against him. So, very disturbed man. But I want you to go look at the Dave Bondy interview with Kris Johns. Um, I'll put that in the description, like I said. This is what I'm going to tell you all. The things that are happening, in my opinion, you have a criminal king in charge with a mafia regime. They're doing all kinds of unconstitutional and corrupt things. They are pulling out the worst in people. And the worst in people touches on mental issues. When you start pulling out the worst in people, um, some people lash out. If you are in public, please be aware of your surroundings. Hold on, I've got something in my eye. So, being aware of your surroundings is so important right now, in order to stay safe. You know, I live out in rural. rural America, and there's psychos that drive up down my road. There are crazy people everywhere, and they're reacting. They feel that it's okay for them to react at this point. You're angry people. They feel that it's okay to lash out at those that they have um, some sort of thought against. So, what we're seeing is absolutely because of the chaos in the White House, the chaos in the judicial system, in Congress, Senate, the SCOTUS. I mean, everything fits together to cause this crazy lashing out of people who have mental problems. Now, I'm not saying that all MAGA have mental issues. I will say that they have been fooled, and they were easily fooled by this man who has conned them out of their tax money to pay for the wealthy as he takes away from them, still grifts off them, still sends them letters for donations or emails for donations, still wants everything that he can suck out of his supporters. And he's also allowing his supporters to be angry. And he's saying these lies, and he's saying these things that are like conspiracies, and getting his supporters riled up. So what I have to say is, if you are not MAGA and you are not on that conservative side, you need to be very careful no matter where you go. You're going to have to be careful. I really fear for the protesters. I know that he wants to stop them. He wanted to shoot protesters his last round. And I will say, just keep your head on a swivel. Start preparing in any way that you can, whether it's just food, water, so on and so forth. Make sure you have what you need if you can't leave your place for at least 2 weeks. At least. Winter's coming up. Do your winter preparations plus. Um, Prepare for spring next year, spring and summer next year by doing clearance now. Um, I really have nothing good to say right now. When I hear our president lie and people accepting it, when I see the military who will be asked to be loyal to Trump rather than the Constitution, when he brings all of these big generals and leaders into this meeting, I can guarantee you that it's to be loyal to Trump and not the Constitution, because that's what he's asked MAGA to be. He calls them patriots, but in reality, they're loyalists to a criminal king. So you're going to see so much stuff. It's so down. It's so downing today. I'm glad I get to go to work and maybe have some fun. Um, I would hate to sit here today in the stewing in the fact that this president, criminal king, has just brought out the worst in people, because he is the worst. And it's sad. And it's anger. I feel anger towards that. So keep your head on a swivel. Go and listen to Dave Bondy with Kris Johns if you can, if you want to. If you want to know a little bit more about what this guy talked about with this Thomas Sanford who destroyed a church and killed people. And I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore, except for that this is a clusterfuck. Y'all have a great day. Hugs from a distance. I might show you something when I get home. But right now, I need to get ready for work and get my mind on doing the chores at work. You all have a great day. Hugs from a distance.